In this video, we're going to build a Shopify support bot that can look at order numbers, look at tracking, and also provide support about products. These customer support bots are in super high demand because there are so many customers in e-commerce. Let's get into it, shall we? Build this agent. We're going to use the new BuildMyAgent update. We've made it very easy to integrate with Shopify. All I write is create a customer support agent with access to Shopify. We'll now build the agent and give it access to Shopify, which is going to be really useful. By the way, guys, what do you guys think about this new BuildMyAgent shirt? Pretty sweet, huh? There we go. Now we have an agent with access to Shopify, and let's start off by connecting it so we can instantly see that it's working. We click connect Shopify in the top left corner, and then we want to connect it via an API key. We then want to go inside of our Shopify store. I've made a demo Shopify store just to show you guys. Inside of settings, and then inside of apps and integrations, apps and sales channels, we can click develop apps right here. And this process from Shopify is not very intuitive, so luckily I'm going to show you guys exactly how you do it. You click create an app top right corner, then we just call it BuildMyAgent app, and I create the app. Then we click a configure API scopes, and here we want to configure what tools we want to give the AI access to. But now I'm just gonna enable all of them just so our agent can do it, because we can limit this from the BuildMyAgent side as well, what tools it can run. So for now, I'm just gonna create an app that gives BuildMyAgent access to all the things inside of the Shopify. But for example, if you're setting this up for a client and they don't want to give access to anything in here, you can just not click it on. But the one that's important is the read orders. There's a lot of stuff here we might not use. Also read prices are really good. So I'm just clicking all of these on. There's a lot. I just want an agent now that has access to absolutely everything. And you can do two things with this integration. You can either create a customer support bot that can help customers with specific questions. You could also create an internal agent for a Shopify store that can basically help with answering any questions, like about stock, etc. In the top right corner, we want to click save, and then we want to go back to the overview. Now we want to install the app on our Shopify store, and then click install. And this gives us this admin API access token. You can only reveal this once, so it's very important that we copy it from here. I copy this, and I go back and I insert it into BuildMyAgent, just like that, and I click authenticate. Now it will ask for the store subdomain. The way you find that is that you go back into Shopify, and then into settings, you can find this start part right here is our Shopify subdomain. We don't want to include this .myshopify, so just paste that in and then I delete that. This is our, you can see our unique identifier for our shop. We're going to paste that in and then click continue. There we go. Now we have an agent that has access to Shopify. I can then test it and ask it, can you please check what products I have? And then I hit enter, and now the agent can look through the Shopify API. You can see it uses Shopify get products. And then it says, I found one test product. It costs 10,000 and has one image. If I go to my actual Shopify page, you can see this is the one product that we have, test product for 10,000. Awesome. If there's something that I don't want the AI to have access to, like creating a product, I can just disable that. You want to disable everything that it shouldn't have access to, because you don't want the agent to have too much access, especially if it's engaging with customers. So adding a product, we probably don't need. Count product images, we probably don't need either. Create a custom collection, we don't need. Create a product, we want to create the products ourselves. Create an order. This could be interesting. You could create an agent that can actually take orders. That would be a really cool idea. For now, we're just going to create a basic customer support agent. So we don't need to create orders yet. Create a customer, we don't need. Create a product image, we don't need. Delete a product, we don't need. There's a lot of these that we don't need. This one, get all customers and get customers, is pretty cool. And get custom orders, this is where the support agent starts to get good. Now the customer can engage with the customer support agent, give their email, for example, and then the agent can provide information about their order. Get order by ID is pretty good. Get order list is also good. We probably don't need get product images. Get products is good. Get products count is also we don't need that. Get products in collection, get shop details, update order. Maybe we don't need to update order either. We just only want the AI to be able to get information. We don't want it to change anything inside of our shop. Cool, now we have disabled all of those. Now I can close this. What I want to do now also is that I want to add a knowledge base. A knowledge base can add a lot of good information to the agent so it can answer more questions. So I'll click add integration. I'll click add knowledge base and then import website. This one is a little boring. There's not that much going on this one. So for now, let's create what is a famous Shopify store. Gymshark. Let's create a Gymshark agent that knows everything about their store. So just copy this URL right here. I click import website URL, and then I click add another URL. And now I can go in and I can find more information. The about us section is usually pretty good because this has a lot of information about the company. So now also can insert that. I'm going to click add another URL. This one, their in-person stores are also pretty good. So I'm going to copy that one and insert that too. Sustainability is also pretty important. I'm going to take that and insert that. You see they have a training app as well. If you want our AI to be able to give information about the training app, then I can insert that. We have an FAQ page right here. This is definitely something we should include. Let's insert that too. Then they also have a page about delivery information. I think that one would be really good to have as well. All of these pages is basically just feeding the AI with information that it needs. We can also see here that it says make a return. There's probably some information about how to do that. So I'm going to insert that too. The returns policy. Can I exchange my item? We can include that as well. There we go. Now we have a bunch of information that we can feed the AI. So I'm going to click import, and now it will scrape and fetch all of the information on these pages and upload it to a file that we can then use RAG to go in and find. You can see some of these it wasn't able to do. That's fine, I guess. We can just remove those. But it was able to fetch all of this information from here. So I can click upload file. And now we have all of this information on these pages right here. And then click done. If I wanted to get this information as well, for example, I could just go inside and I can upload a file as well. So let's do that too. I can create a docs, create that, call that docs.new, and then I just call it additional information. Actually pretty good that I can show this guys to you. Some websites are not able to be crawled like this one, but now I can just Control A, all this information and insert it. And I'll do that still right here. The returns policy is good as well. Basically creating an agent based on all of the information that they have. How do I return items? You can insert this into a PDF. There's a lot of good support information right here that we can give to our AI agent. I don't know what this Thrift Plus is, but let's insert it. Now we have a 21 long document with additional support information. What I can do is that I can click file right here. I can just download this as a PDF file, for example. And I can then just go in, click this upload right here, and then upload the PDF. And then I'll add that as well. So now we have both the additional information that we just added and the website import. So I click done right here. I also want to have a better model than the one that we currently have. So I actually really like Grok 4 Fast. I think this is one of the best models for the price. So we're going to get that one. Temperature, I'm going to set that down a little bit to 0.3. And you can see our prompt is actually pretty good. I'm going to save the changes and let's try it again. Again, it's still connected to our Shopify store. We would, of course, if we were to work with Gymshark, we would connect it to the Gymshark store. What products do I have? It should still be able to answer. You can see it's the test product. It even included the image right here. And it also has default title, one in stock, and shows all of that information right there, which is cool. I want to make this a little more friendly so it actually sounds like a support agent. I can do that by using the agent builder right here. And I can say, please update my prompt to be a support agent. Keep the current tools, but make it more friendly. Respond with short and concise responses. It will be used for a website widget. We can get our agent builder to actually update our prompt to make it more friendly. See, it did a lot of changes. It added this right here. You are a friendly and concise support agent for a website widget ready to assist users with their inquiries. All of this information. I click apply. Now our prompt is now updated. I can then write what products do we have in good store. Currently have one product, this product right here, only one variant available. If you're looking for more details, let me know how I can assist further. Perfect. Now I can see that the answer is much more concise. We could also ask a question about the knowledge base, like what is your return policy? There you can see it comes with a very long response, but that's probably good. You want to have all of the information in the response. We make returns easily for items bought from Gymshark or our app, as long as they are gives a lot of good information. We can ask it what is Thrift Plus, wasn't that what that was called? There we go. Now we have a very good agent that can basically respond to any questions there's about the information that we gave it, which is cool. But some cool use cases that you can have, and the reason we integrated it directly with Shopify, is that if I go in here and I add a customer, for example, see I already added myself, I can create an order. Browse, I'm just going to add the test product right here, and I'm going to mark that as paid and create it as an order. Now we have this order right here. and I can take the order number and we can ask our AI about it. Can you check the status of my order? Hopefully it asks for the order number. Sure, I'll be happy to check the status. Could you please provide your order number or your email associated with the order? Here is my order number. Your order 1002 ID for the test product was placed today at 17:40 and has successfully paid. Since this item doesn't require shipping, it's now completely ready, no further action needed. If this doesn't match what you expected by more details, let me know. Cool. All of the information that it gets, you'll be able to see. So in a real Shopify store, they would have a shipping address right here and a billing address. All of that it'll be able to see. That's pretty cool, huh? I can then click mark as fulfilled. I can ask it again. Is it fulfilled now? Yes, the order is now fulfilled since the test run was also fulfilled. Boom, boom, boom. Cool. So now we have an AI that can search up orders. This is where it becomes really crazy. You could hook this up to a support Gmail and thereby respond to all support requests and have an AI that has access to all systems. Or you could at least create an agent and then create drafts based on this. This is where it starts to become really, really valuable. And it's crazy that not more people are talking about AI agents in e-commerce, because e-commerce is such a numbers game. There's so many customers and support requests and a lot of manual work of tracking all the orders, etc. And AI can be a big use there. Now we have an agent that has a knowledge base about the company and can go in and check order status of all the orders. That's pretty cool, huh? If you wanted to create some more of a Jarvis setup for Shopify stores where they could go in and ask questions about their own store, all you would do is just enable all of this information right here, so it can now also go in and delete products or add products, etc. Let's say that we are ready to deploy this agent. You would, of course, in a real world scenario, go in, update the prompt more. If there's any rules, if there's any things it shouldn't do or should do, update the prompt and also update the tools that it has access to. But let's say that we want to deploy this Shopify agent. All we would do is we would come over to this left-hand side right here and click launch. Now we would create a new sub account. I'm gonna call this Gymshark. I'm gonna create the sub account and hit into it. I'm gonna customize it a bit. I'm gonna make it, I think light mode fits Gymshark well, but Gymshark is probably more of a black color, I'd say. So we're gonna make the theme black. I can even insert Gymshark's logo by right clicking on the logo and copying the image address and then inserting it right here and click save. I can see we have the Gymshark logo in the top left corner. Let's make this a little bigger, just like that. There we go. There you can see, I think this looks pretty cool. What I'll do now is that I'll go inside of team, and let's say that we are setting this up for Gymshark. What I would do is that I would invite them to the sub account. Then they can see the conversations, they can see what's going on, they know exactly the work that you're doing. I would then invite John at gymshark.com like this, for example, send him an invite so he also has access to this sub account. And you can see when we do that, I don't think there's a John at Gymshark, maybe there is, maybe there's not. But you can see that it will now be pending. So now I'm going to delete this invite and now he is gone. Let's go in and set up the agent. The way we do that is that we click add agent right here. So we add an agent to the sub account and now we call it website widget. This is the name that's going to show up in the left hand side right here. We click continue and then we're going to choose the website widget, but we could also deploy this agent to WhatsApp or to SMS or to Instagram DMs, etc. For now, let's set it up via the website widget. Click continue and then we select the build that we just created, which is the Shopify support agent. And I then create the agent. We can then customize this agent. I actually think this in gray looks pretty cool. We probably want it in light mode just because the website is also in light mode. We can change the width and the height of this. We can keep it in the bottom right corner. We can also change the size of how big the minimize widget is. I think this is pretty good. We can change the language of the prompt if we wanted to make it any other language. For now, let's do it English. And we can change the welcome message. So something like, do you have any questions? The input placeholder is basically this, type your message. I think that's pretty good. And the typing text is also pretty good. Maybe we just delete this typing text so it only has these loading dots. I think that would be better. We can actually just insert a space right here and then it just has this loading, which I think looks a little more clean. So a new conversation right here. Then we can have the suggested responses like what is your product, how does it work, what are the pricing plans. We could add frequently asked questions like what is your return policy, tell me about sustainability, what is the Gymshark method, something. You can change it to something that fits the brand. The pop-up message is this message that pops up right here. Hi there, need any help? For now, we can make those do you have any questions as well. Kind of like it when this message right here It's the same message we also have right here. I think that makes logical sense. You can close these again. And then to the branding. We can change it from chat widget right here to something like Gymshark. AI assistant, we could change to AI helper or something like that. For now, I think AI assistant is probably pretty good. We can also change all these buttons, new conversation and previous conversation. I think that's fine for now. And now we can insert a header logo. So we can go back into Gymshark, copy this header right here, copy the image address, and then insert it and click this. Now you can see it says Gymshark up in the top left corner right here. When we have that, we probably don't need this widget title. So I can just do that. So now it says Gymshark like that. I could also, if I wanted to, I can make it a little smaller, probably like that. And if I click this button right here, it also gives me the option to add an avatar logo and a widget logo. So I'm gonna insert the same image both places. And we definitely want to crop this a little bit, the widget. This picture is pretty good for this right here, but when it comes to an actual round image, this image is probably not the best. Let's see if we can find a better image on their website. I think this one would be a little more fitting for a round icon. So I can copy this image URL right here, and I can go back, and then I will change this to be this instead, this to be this instead. That looks a lot better, I think. Now we have a website widget that looks really cool in my opinion. All we need to do now is just remember to click save, and now we can deploy it. Just click deploy right here, and that's going to give us this deploy script. If I copy this, then we can go back into our Shopify store, and let me show you guys how to insert it. All that we do is that we go into online store right here, and then we want to get the actual code. So we click on these three dots right here, and we click edit code. That's going to give us the actual code of the website. Then we head under layout until we find the theme.liquid, because this is something that's loaded on every single page. So what we do is that right under the bottom tag right here is where we can insert some scripts. So I'm going to insert this script right here and make sure that it's that, and then I'm going to click save, and boom, now you can see we have the widget on our website. That is pretty cool, huh? And we can also test it, like what is your return policy, and you can see it's still the same agent that we had, and it's giving all of this information to us. Cool. That is how you create a Shopify agent, how you enable it to check orders based on order numbers, and how you insert it on a Shopify website. If you have any questions, then make sure to leave a comment down below. As always, guys, remember to subscribe. If you want more guides like this, then we have a completely free 3-day challenge in the description right below.